y'all, welcome back to Kim's Southern Sanctuary. If this is your first time joining me, I am Kim, military wife and working mom of 2 preteen girls. Today's video, I'm going to talk about how we do our family Bible study. One of our goals for this new year in 2021 is to draw our family closer to the Lord and study the Bible a little bit more. Now, we are Catholic. And one thing that I've found, and I've reflected on a lot lately, is growing up, we didn't do a lot of Bible study. We go to Mass, we have our normal readings in our Mass, and then we have a gospel reading, which is where the priest kind of takes his homily from. But one thing that I can't remember ever doing in school and in CCD is like really doing a deep dive into the Bible. So we talked a lot about how we could do that with our girls because we want them to understand the Bible better than we do. And we want them to understand that the purpose of the Bible is to help us live a better life. It informs us of what we need to do to follow the Lord and live a righteous life. And there are some great stories in the Bible, but sometimes I feel like we don't solely and fully understand the meanings of those stories that we grow up hearing. There's more to it than just a story. There's always a lesson that we need to learn. Now, there have been many times when I've started to try to study the Bible on a daily basis, or say, okay, I'm going to read the Bible this year. And after about day 2, I fall through the cracks with it. I can't do it. And I guess that's just because I don't fully understand the message that the Lord is trying to send to me. I'm not understanding the wording of the Bible because, sometimes the Bible is very hard to understand because it was written so long ago and the way they spoke was so different. So what I'm going to do today is take you through how we've learned to study the Bible over the past week and a half. It's been very successful. The girls are very engaged, and I think that we've just taken and gotten a lot out of reading the Bible and then listening to a recap where we get a better understanding of what the Bible is trying to tell us. So the things that we have found that have helped us out a lot are a Bible that it's in a New Living Translation. After I go through the tools that we use, I'm going to show you the Bibles that we've been using for our study. And I'm going to take you online because the tools that we use are online. I found something called the Bible Recap. And I'm going to take you here in just a second online and show you where you can find it. But it has been the best resource for us in helping us understand the Bible. So I hope you enjoy this video. I know it was kind of like I went all over the world in this intro, but I'm going to pop up my search and everything and kind of show you where we go or how we found the tools that we use. I do want to throw out a disclaimer. The Bible study that we use for our family might not be appropriate for every family. Our girls are 11 and 12, and they both read at a very high reading level. They can process things that, I don't know, most 11 and 12-year-olds can't process. Conversations with them can sometimes be like, wow, where did you get that from? So they do understand the Bible better than I thought that they would. So one thing that I would ask you to do before you started this type of Bible study is to kind of go through it yourself. Maybe do it for a day or 2 on your own and then kind of decide, is this appropriate for my kids? Now, I would say that if you have kids probably under the age of 10, that this particular study that we're doing might not be appropriate. You might be able to follow along with the plan that is laid out in this Bible study, but you might have to modify it down, especially if you have littler kids. Like I said, This is not for everyone, but this is what has suited our family. And we have so far, just over the past week and a half, gotten so much out of this Bible study. So the two online resources we use are the Bible Recap and the Bible Project. And both of these can be found online over on YouTube. So just go to your search engine and type in the Bible Recap. Just click on that. It's going to take you to the start page. Click Start. And it's going to describe the 365-day Bible plan in detail. It's going to tell you where you can access it. It's going to give you a link to download the PDFs of the plan. And it's also going to list some prep episodes that you probably should watch before starting the plan. Now, you can do a whole Bible plan, or you can just do a 3-month New Testament plan. It really depends on what you're wanting to do, how long you want to commit to a Bible study, and what your family's needs are. There are some pro tips about how to make this successful for your family as well. So go back up and click on the whole Bible link. That's for 1 year. This is a 4-page PDF. It's going to list from days 1 through 365. And it's going to tell you the chapters that you're going to read in those days or on those days. It's chronological, so you're not going to read Genesis all the way through. You're going to read Genesis days 1, 2, and 3, and then jump over to Job. And then do Job for about a week and a half. So it kind of jumps around, but it's in chronological order. If you go back out, you can click on that New Testament link as well. That's a 3-month study. So if you're looking for something a little bit smaller and you want to focus on just the New Testament, they do have a New Testament study. I do not believe they have an Old Testament study. You would probably have to do the 365-day plan to get the Old Testament. So if you go back out to the Start link, it's going to show you where you can access the videos or the podcast. We use YouTube. If you click on their playlists, it'll bring you to a playlist that has the prep episodes and the daily episodes. So after you read your chapters for that day, you just go find that video for the day. And it starts at day 1, and you just scroll all the way down until you find that. Right now, we are in Job, so you can see where we've done some of these videos already. They're usually about 5 minutes long. And Lee Cobble takes you through, explains it in a manner that you can understand what's going on. The next thing we use is called the Bible Project. This is something that I just kind of stumbled on. The Bible Project is also on YouTube, and they have some great resources as well. They have several playlists that you can scroll through, and one of the ones that we have been using is the Old Testament playlist. They have a video for each book of the Bible. And so before we start reading a book of the Bible, we watch this video just kind of as an overview so that the girls have an understanding of what we're going to be talking about. I found this when I started reading Job, because Job for me was very difficult to read. So it gives a great explanation of the book of Job, how to understand it. And it also goes along as they speak and explain it. It has amazing illustrations. They also have a playlist for the New Testament, and it's broken up. So if it's a large book in the Bible, they'll break it up into smaller sections. So this is something great that you can use before you actually dive into a new chapter of the Bible. They have a lot of other playlists. There's one that you can go to that it basically teaches you how to read the Bible. They have a wisdom series. How to read the Bible, that's one I just talked about. How to read the book of Proverbs. Just, it's amazing. What is the Bible? The story of the Bible. Plots. The different characters in the Bible. I mean, like, this is another, like I said, another great resource. Just the sky's the limit, because the Bible, it's very difficult to read. And so these types of resources can help us better understand the Bible. Okay, so I kind of hope you got the gist of how that Bible study works. So these are the things that we use every day for our Bible study. I have our Bible, and this Bible is a New Living Translation, red letter. And I'm going to link it down below. I found a link for it on Amazon. This Bible is, you can understand it so easy. After doing some research about this Bible, it is written on a junior high level. It's amazing. You can understand what's going on. You can understand the message. It's just way easier to read than some of the other Bibles that we have in our home. So like I said, I'll put a link below in that one. And then I also wanted to show you the printout that we have for the Bible recap. As you can see, I just highlight every day where we are. And so today, I think we're going to be, we're on day 8, Job 17 through 20. We started out on day 1 with Genesis, and as you can kind of tell, we did day 1, day 2, day 3 in Genesis. Then it skips over to Job. Like I said, this reading plan is in chronological order. So we're going to spend several days in Job, and then we are going to jump back over into Genesis. In Genesis, we got to Noah, and we were just about to start reading about Abraham and Sarah, but we jumped over to Job because according to the chronological timeline, Job actually came before Abraham, his story. So we're going to finish up in Job, and then we're going to jump back over on day 16 and pick up in Genesis with Abraham and Sarah. So like I said, it just is day 1 through 365. And so we'll just work our way through. Another Bible that I want to show you that we have in our home is the Action Bible. My mom got this for Emily after she received her first communion. She got each one of them a Bible after their communion. So Nora has this first communion Bible. It's basically set up just the stories of the Bible. It's not the whole Bible in itself. So this is one that she has had for a couple years and she reads. But this Action Bible, both of the girls love it, and I find sometimes that they fight over it. This one is set more like a graphic novel. If your kids are into graphic novels, like this is the Bible that you need to get them. After we started Job, the first day of Job, I didn't know it, but Emily went and got her Action Bible, and she actually read ahead in this Action Bible about Job. And yet again, it's in a way that she can understand it, and it's a graphic novel, and that's all she reads is graphic novels. So it kind of has intrigued her a little bit to read ahead of us using this Action Bible. And I'll put a link for this down below as well. Okay, so kind of I want to share with you how we do it every night. Basically, after dinner, we get cleaned up, and then we all come into the living room, and we just sit on the couches and cover up and we get comfortable. And I will do the readings for the night. Now, the first night we did it, we tried to let the girls read, like I would read, and then one of them would read, and then Chris would finish it off. But that didn't work all that well. I think they were just reading and not listening. So the next night I kind of took over the reading, and we found that they did a lot better job of listening and understanding what was going on, especially using that New Living Translation Bible. I mean, that was a game changer for us, so that they could better, understand it. After we get done reading our scriptures, I scroll over to YouTube on my phone. I bring up that podcast for the day on YouTube, and we just listen to it. 5 minutes. 5-6 minutes is usually all it takes. She does a recap of what we read. She highlights some important stuff. But then at the end of every recap, she gives a God shot. And that God shot kind of tells, what was God like in that scripture reading? What was his characteristic? Sometimes he shows mercy. Sometimes he is sovereign. Sometimes he is hopeful. Sometimes he is our Redeemer. So it makes you really think about what you read, and then you kind of reflect. So once the podcast is over, I've found that we've had some really engaging conversations. They are truly understanding what's going on. And we kind of felt like this last week was a great time for us to be reading the book of Job, because of what's going on in our world, and even like what's going on in our lives. Or, Chris and I can say, hey, I really could have used, I could have really read the book of Job during this point of my life. Or, he has a story where when he deployed to Iraq, he didn't know when he was going to be coming home. And there was a spot where he was just really down and not understanding, why God had them there, not understanding why they didn't know when they were going to come home. And one day he was walking on base, and he said all of a sudden a page of the Bible just hit him in the chest. And he looked at it, and it was a page from the book of Job. And he said it was like God was just slapped him in the face. Like, you think things are bad for you? You need to read this. You need to read this so that you can better understand what my plans are for you and why things are going on the way they are. So hopefully this was kind of a good recap of our Bible study. I'd go from pillar to post when I'm trying to do this. If my voiceover was not great, please forgive me. I'm working on my voiceovers right now. If you have any questions about this Bible study that we're doing, just message me. You can follow me on Instagram over at Kim Southern Sanctuary. You can just send me a message. You can pop a question down below in the comments. I can answer questions better there. I hope y'all have a great day. I hope the weather where you are is nice and it's not hot, cold like it is down here in Louisiana, because the weather is giving my allergies and my sinuses grief. So, hope y'all have a good day, and we'll see y'all later.